I wasn't sure if I was going to get the Legacy Deluxe animated Bumblebee. I really wasn't. I saw it in stores and I'm like, it looks okay. And I just passed on it for now. But when I did my old versus new on animated Voyager Optimus, so many of you guys told me, go back and get that Bumblebee. The Bumblebee's really good. You're missing out. Go get the Bumblebee. It's nice. Trust us. And I gotta say, you were pretty right. I like the new animated Legacy Bumblebee. I do. It's not perfect. It has a couple things that I'm kind of like, over. But it's very nice and very fun. I love animated Bumblebee. I love the character. He was a little bit annoying, but still loved him. And I really like his original Deluxe. This was actually one of my first... I think this was my very first animated figure. I got it at the flea market. It was like $20, which I was like, oh, it's a little bit more than a Deluxe class, but, you know, it's animated Bumblebee, it's old. Which is funny, because I ended up paying $25 for that. But it's just good old inflation. It's where the market is now. And I really do enjoy this old Deluxe. Obviously, the old Deluxe, even back in the day, did not scale with any of the other figures whatsoever. He was huge. He was so huge, in fact, that I'm actually going to include an extra figure in this old versus new because I have the animated activator Bumblebee that actually scales with animated figures a lot better. And as you can see, that scaling matches a lot more than that scaling. Yeah, it's just a matter of scale. That's why this guy is so much tinier, because they wanted him to actually scale now. And I feel like, you know, given his size and everything, they included enough engineering and everything to actually make him still feel like a worthy Deluxe class. He has a few things going on that I'm kind of, again, like, over. But I'm pretty happy with the new Legacy Animated Deluxe. So before we go on to the, transformation, articulation, and everything, I kind of like having some one-on-one time with these, you know, going over the old one and the new one. But you can see there's quite the size difference to start. Let's start off with the old one. Like I said already, I have quite the soft spot for this guy. I've had this for so long now, and it's such a fun figure for me. I love the head sculpt. I love how big it is, how jovial it is. It's animated bee, you know, he's got that little side smile. It's got the black outlining. It's just very nice and very fun. He has a little jet packs on his back, and I also think those are very fun. And those actually can stay tabbed in for transformation, and I really appreciate that. But he does have a little bit of a outward backpack, given how that transforms. He does have his stingers as well. And as you can see, they can combine and separate. When they're separated, you know, it's just kind of like a stinger half that's kind of hanging off to the side. And it looks a little awkward, but it doesn't look super awkward. You know, it's still kind of oriented in the right direction. And you can still have like one stinger out or not. And how it works, you just kind of flip it back into the hand and flip the hand out. And now you can just have them with a normal hand. You can still see the stinger sticking out a little bit. That is kind of annoying. But hey, from, you know, several poses, you're not really going to see it. I think they really just wanted to make sure you could transform the hand and have the stinger, like, combine and everything. Because me personally, I just think Bumblebee looks the coolest from animated with the stinger combined. This is how I display him. That's why I started the video like this, because I was like, hey, it's how I'm going to display him. It's, you know, it is what it is. It works fine for me. I do like the black outlining on the torso, too. I think that looks very nice. From what I understand, I think that the stripe side is not necessarily accurate, because this is a fake chest. Either that or this is a correct chest, and this is accurate. So oddly enough, even though this is a fake chest, and they could have put that stripe anywhere, they still had it on the wrong side. Is it a fully fake chest, though? I don't know. I think it's still, like, partially integrated into the vehicle. Is it? No, I think it's a fake chest, because that's the top. That's the top right there. Yeah, it's a fake chest, and they still got it wrong. So funny. He does have, like I said, black outlining around the legs. And his legs are kind of where this figure starts to fall apart, because he does have these big old chunks of the car just, like, on these spring ball joints that are easy to come off, and they just spring around, and they're very awkward, and it's, like, painted plastic, so it doesn't even match, and it's just kind of odd. But he's got these big old feet. He's got these big old feet. Again, not necessarily accurate, but, you know, he's got these big old feet. And I feel like it kind of works. kind of gives the vibe of animated Bumblebee. I like it. Overall, I do really enjoy this guy. He's got a hinge and a ball joint at the head, so you get a lot of nice articulation there. A ball joint at the shoulder, which is kind of limiting, but he also kind of have a butterfly for articulation. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, but he does have a hinge at the shoulder as well as a hinge at the elbow. You already kind of saw the hands, what those do and everything. He does have a waist swivel, which is very nice, but it is kind of hindered after a while. Doesn't really have a full range of motion. Ball joints at the hips, move out, move forward just a little bit. No thigh swivel, but he does have a knee bend that's kind of hindered by the leg kibble. You can see this kibble. Like, it kind of rests behind the knee joint, but once you start moving the knee joint, it kind of moves off to the side a little bit, which is what it is. And the feet, they're on hinges and swivels. So you get a pretty good amount of articulation, you know. It's not bad. It's animated Bumblebee. I still vibe with it. I still like it. Even after all these years, I still think this is a pretty fun one. Definitely a little interesting, but I feel like the materials, like the very nice smooth plastic, the nice paint job and everything, kind of just makes up for it. You can still tell it's a quality figure, even if the engineering isn't too great. A little intermission time. Here's a little activator. Not really meant to be a super detailed robot mode, but it does have that in the right position, which I will definitely give it. The head sculpt still looks pretty nice, even though he's a little bit more serious this time. He's not really smiling anymore. It does have ball joints at the shoulders, bicep swivel, which is kind of funny. It does have a elbow joint, even though the arms are very awkwardly placed into the doors. No waist swivel, ball joints at the hips, hinge at the knee. That's kind of limited, but you still get some, and you do have an up and down at the feet. So yeah, overall, you know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Definitely a nice little substitute if you want a more, you know, scale accurate Bumblebee in your animated collection. But yeah, it's kind of fun. I enjoy it. It does still have the light on the chest because they couldn't really do that any other way given how this guy transforms, but it's okay. All right, little Legacy Boy time. Little tiny Legacy Boy. Little Legacy Boy. He's cute. He's fun. I like him. So he does also have the stinger thing. He does have that, and I really do appreciate it. I think it looks really gorgeous this time around. It does also split, and it looks pretty good once you split it, but then you realize the elbow is supposed to go this way. So you see the underside of the stinger when you don't have them attached. So the stinger independently only really works when it's actually attached to the rockets. So the rockets, they're just clear plastic on the back, and I think it's kind of a downgrade because they were, you know, ooh, they were the clear blue on this one with silver paint, and I feel like for how tiny this guy is, they could have added some paint to those. Come on. But, you know, they just attach to his back. You can attach them where they attach in vehicle mode, but it kind of gets in the way of the shoulders. I wouldn't really do that. But we can take these off, and then we take the stingers off, and then we flip out the hand, which it's still nice it has the flip out hand thing. But then we attach the thruster to the hand, and then we attach the stinger to the tip of that. That's the only way to have the independent stingers in the robot mode, is to attach them to the thrusters. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad, but I don't know, man. I just like the thrusters on his back. I just think that always looks so cool for animated Bumblebee. Like I said, you can put them there, but they just get in the way, which is kind of annoying. You can also put them on the feet if you want. You can put them on his feet. That's a thing. That's marker, by the way. Don't worry about that. Yeah, you can put them on the feet. That's another place you can put them. But yeah, like I said, I like displaying animated Bumblebee with the two stingers attached, so I will likely continue to do so. But you can see, you know, he does have normal hands that flip out. And it's the, you know, normal millimeter thing. Can we actually connect the stinger and kind of make it look decent that way? Like just on one hand. It does look okay. Again, it's still pointed downward, just with how it's angled. But, you know, it's the sacrifice that they made so you can have them combined. So I can forgive it. But still, you can have one singular stinger, I guess. If that works for you, it works for you. So the overall look of his robot mode, I think, is very nice. It does have a couple things I kind of take issue with. I think the backpack's just a little too sticky-outy, but that's not too big of a deal. I don't like the clear plastic. I don't. Because it is clear plastic, and it just makes the whole guy look so clear and plasticky and toyish around the torso. I personally am a proponent of totally getting rid of clear plastic in Transformers. I don't need it, man. I don't need it. Because what's the point of clear plastic when you look through the window and all you see is weird, like, mold lines and interiors of the toy? Like, it never looks good. Not unless it's like an alternator or something. It just never looks good, in my opinion, so why still have it? Especially on this guy, it just makes his torso look so weird and clear. Especially since they didn't paint the hinges or any of that up there. I don't know, it just makes him look like he's made out of glass. But, whatever. The head sculpt, I think, is really nice for animated Bumblebee. It looks really good with the little half smile with the black outline and everything. But I don't think it works good as a Legacy animated Bumblebee, because Legacy is supposed to be kind of a more realistic and universal interpretation of all these characters. So tell me, why is his mouth cartoonishly off to the side? It shouldn't be. In my opinion, if this is a more realistic Legacy interpretation of the character, he shouldn't have a pure animated face. But it's a gorgeous animated face, so it doesn't bug me that much. The main thing that bugs me with this guy is that clear torso. That's the main thing. I think that's the thing that put me off from him when I first saw him in hand. But it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. I really like his shoulders with the big old wheels. And they're pinned. They're properly pinned, which I think is very nice. They're not really properly pinned down here, though, but they still roll really well. His legs are very nice and solid. They're very nice and solid and very nicely engineered. As well as his arms. Like, his articulation overall is just very nicely done. I'm just very happy with this guy. It's a very fun animated Bumblebee. If I want to play with an animated Bumblebee in robot mode, I feel like I'm going to go to this guy. I just think he accomplishes it the best, in my opinion anyway. So, his articulation overall, he has a hinge and a ball joint at the head, and you get a lot of nice range out of that ball joint. You do get a hinge for transformation at the shoulder, but you also have a nice ball joint. And overall, actually, I think it's just a universal, isn't it? Yeah, it's a universal at the shoulder, not a ball joint. Almost feels like a ball joint with how nice and smooth it is. So, you know, I would take that as a win. He does have, again, like the swivels up there at the shoulder, and he has a swivel and a hinge at the elbow. He does have swivel wrists, believe it or not. They did integrate swivel wrists into him, so I appreciate that. Not really necessary, but I'll take it. I'll take it. He does have a swivel at the waist. He has universals at the hips, and I just love how they still stray away from ball joints, because universal joints are just so much better overall. Thigh swivel. He has a pretty good knee joint, actually a very good knee joint, and he has this little knee pad too that you can fold up if you want. And then his ankles, they do pivot, but you do have to kind of be mindful of the pivoting kind of, there's kind of like a click to it. It's almost like there's a piece of plastic that kind of has to slip over before it joints. And then it kind of moves up and down a little bit. So ankles aren't too bad, but I appreciate the pivot. I really do. So I think this is a very nice little Bumblebee. I really enjoy it. It's about the size of like the normal generation's VW Bumblebees, so it's not like super duper small. I just like it. I like it very much. I'm very happy that I let you guys talk me into getting it, because I am not disappointed. I will still buy the Wasp repaint, though. I'll also buy a Bumblebee. Oh, God. Anyways, let's transform this guy. Let's transform our original animated Bumblebee. It's actually been quite a while since I've done this. I hope nothing breaks, because some of these animated figures kind of give me the little heebie-jeebies when I'm working on transforming them. Actually, I do want to keep the stingers attached. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but it's okay. We'll make it. We'll survive. What do we do with this? We rotate the waist, right? Doesn't the waist... Oh, doesn't it do something really weird? Oh, yeah, yeah. So you rotate the waist, and then this whole thing kind of like hinges up. Yeah, that's cool. And then that just kind of slides down to fill in that gap. And then the legs, we'll put the feet in. And I do kind of like how the feet like slot in to the leg. I like that. It's something about it. And then we'll take these big awkward panels, slide them into position, and we'll tab these together. I just love how nice and buttery smooth the plastic is on this guy. It feels so good. I'm just, you know, worried about old animated figures breaking because they're not very cheap anymore. So we should be good, though. Get everything tabbed in. Tab in the front, which is oddly very tight for some reason. For some reason, this joint is so tight. Oh, geez. One of the tightest tabs on any Transformer, I swear. And then we'll tab in the sides. Make sure the stingers are attached, because you can even see where the leg is molded for the stinger to fit through it. So it's kind of interesting how you transform them with the stingers. And it's kind of, you know, kind of messy. There's a lot of little panels and everything, but it's kind of the fun kind of messy, if that makes any sense. And I love how these panels just kind of hinge down, perfectly slot into place. I never really have a problem with these panels. And then there we go. That's pretty much it. There is our animated deluxe Bumblebee in his cute little police chief personal car mode. Oh, the wasp thing. Or the little stingers came out. Ah, geez Louise. Come on. Come on. Cooperate. There we go. There we go. There it is. Very, very cute. I like it very much. So unfortunately, it does have a pretty big discrepancy with the painted yellow and the molded yellow. It is very noticeable. But still, it's a very cute car, and you can still have the thrusters there. It rolls very, very well. It is a very nice, successful car, in my opinion. I think it's, you know, Animated always did a really good job with the alt modes. And besides the inconsistency of the yellow paint and the yellow plastic, I really enjoy this car mode. Again, as a little bonus, let's go over the activator. This is going to take no time at all. Pretty much just folds up. You put the legs together, kind of get that tabbed in, and straighten the arms. Tab these in, and yeah, there we go. Here's a little activator and his little car mode. He does have the big old hinges in the back, but obviously that's for the gimmick. You know, that just facilitates the gimmick. I really enjoy the painted windshields on this guy. They look so gorgeous. And just tell me, which one looks better? The painted windshields or the painted yellow? And the clear, smoky plastic where all you can see is like weird little mold marks and everything. This just looks so much cleaner, so much better. And honestly, clear plastic, it always takes up paint budget having to paint the opacity and the actual car parts that aren't the windows. So why not just put the paint towards having nice metallic windshields like this? I just think it looks so much better in my opinion. At least in my opinion. And the transformation back, you hit the little button. It's so cute. I love this little guy. Definitely, honestly, up there for me when it comes to alt mode. Sure has the hinges, but I think it looks really cute. I think the plastics look more consistent, and I love the painted windshields. Anyways, last but not least, let's talk about our new boy. This is our new boy right here. Let's talk about him. So I'm pretty sure the stingers have to be on these in the vehicle mode, and that's okay. You know, I'm not stressing it too much. You know, just kind of tab it in and it stays in. Get the other one off. And it's kind of difficult to move with these tiny little tabs this has. But I think it's pretty okay. You know, it still looks all right, especially since the direction we're going to have these facing. But you do need to remove these for transformation. And you do need the hands flipped in. So I've only done this once, but I'm pretty sure I remember it pretty well. It's a very nice transformation in my opinion. I think it accomplishes the vehicle very well as just being a very fun little transformation for a tiny little Bumblebee. So the torso here is going to untab, and the head's just going to like slot in. And we're going to rotate this. I love the leg transformation, so check this out. So this unhinges, and the knee pad folds in. And what we're going to do after that, the whole side is going to rotate. And then the foot is going to move down. We're going to flip that little heel in. And it just completes the front of the car so smoothly and so seamlessly. And then we're going to take it kind of similar to the original one, except the hinge is way tighter on this one to untab. Instead of going over, we're going to go under with this and tab the legs in together. And then tab the windshield in. And I just hate that clear plastic. It just looks so ugly to me. just looks so ugly. But we're almost done. We're going to take the arms, move them in to position. And I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get the hips up a little bit more because the arms need a place to go. And we're going to get this in. And we're going to, what is, oh geez, it's that hand. The hand came out. We're going to tab it in right there. And it works pretty seamlessly. Unless you have things untabbing on you, which it's a transformer. It happens. It happens. It's okay. We'll get that in. See, look, the hand just folded out again on me. Even though it shouldn't do that. Come on, hand. And after you're done finessing that, you just take this back panel, fold it down, spread those out a little bit, and make sure this hinge is nicely lined up with the tab it's going to go into. There we go. And voila! Here's the little tiny Bumblebee mode. And in my opinion, I think this is the worst looking one. I think it's by far the worst looking one. Not bad. It's not bad. It still accomplishes it pretty well. But it has these really big, ugly ports on the side where you could plug the thrusters into the legs for no real good reason. You can still plug these into the side, and I feel like it disguises the ugliness right here pretty well. But I just hate the use of clear plastic here. It looks so ugly to me. Something about it. Like, I think this is probably the ugliest clear plastic I've ever seen. Still not too bad, but still not great at all, really. But it's still a cute little car. I appreciate all the little painted details, little headlights, the stripe that runs all the way down, even though you can see some of the hood inside, like, the dashboard, which is, again, clear plastic. Why? It's very nice and solid. You can see it's about the size of the activator. It's pretty small. And again, you can see I feel like the activator just looks better because of the windshield. This little tiny Bumblebee rolls like a dream. But to be fair, the original Deluxe did pretty well too. The activator, it's okay. But this is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best rolling Transformers I've seen in a while. So, with that being said, let's put the new one in the middle. What do I think about the new Legacy Deluxe Bumblebee? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Definitely has the best robot mode out of all of these, that's for sure. But the transformation is very nice, and I just feel like the vehicle mode is a little bit of a letdown. It's not that bad, but I really feel like the clear plastic, the stark clear plastic, holds this guy back. Because the original one used smoky clear plastic, so it was kind of darker. Didn't really look as bad. That's what a lot of Transformers use. They use like tinted clear plastic. But this guy is just straight clear plastic. And it just doesn't look good. It looks like he's made out of glass. It just doesn't work for me as well. And I'm just, metallic just looks so much better. Now granted, not every Transformer should not have clear plastic, but I just feel like many of them would be better off without, in my opinion. And I kind of don't mind that a lot of these, Studio Series figures and like that Autobot 5-pack have painted windshields instead. I think it looks okay. Again, I feel like maybe the bright blue is a little much. Maybe like just black or like a darker metallic would look better, but it's whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm just happy to have another chance to get Smokescreen, really. So I'm very happy I got this little animated Bumblebee. I think it's very good. I think it accomplishes what it sets out to do very well. And it's not perfect. It has a few little problems, but I think it's nice. And I'm very happy that you guys talked me into getting it, because I'm happy to have it in my collection. I'm looking forward to seeing what the animated Legacy line brings us in the future. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of coming to a close already. I feel like the next line isn't really going to cover what Legacy covered, and it's going to focus less on Transformers from all these special eras. And I don't know. I feel like we missed out. I feel like we missed out on a lot of what they still could have done. But who knows? Maybe it's not over. Maybe we'll see. I'm sure we'll get a Wasp repaint of this. I think it's on one of the leak lists. I will definitely buy that. Definitely hyped for the BUMBLEBEE repaint. If you know what I'm talking about, please seek help. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.